Create or destroy? That is the question. Which one are you doing in your life? Have you ever stopped to think before you acted or made a decision and asked yourself, am I creating something or am I destroying something in my life? This is the real life question that can change everything for you. And in today's video, we're diving into this question and figuring out why it's so crucial for everything in your life, and especially amidst this current chaos of protests and riots and crazy events that are happening in the world. So stick around. This might be the equation to help you find real happiness in your life. Oh, and by the way, I'm Steve, a broke millionaire. I grew up poor and then I got rich, became a millionaire before I was 30. And then I really just didn't like that lifestyle and the people and the surroundings. So I ditched it to find real, true happiness and peace in my life. And on this channel, you're gonna get the raw, unfiltered, sometimes very opinionated truth. So if you like that, stay tuned. We're dropping in. Am I creating or destroying? And why does this question matter? Well, let's face it, the world is pretty chaotic. You know, whether it's environmental catastrophes, economic crashes, political outrage, protests, wars, you name it. It's easy for us to lose sight of what actually matters for ourselves in our personal life. And a lot of us get distracted and forget to ask the most important questions for our own lives. And in the question of creating or destroying, I know this firsthand because I built a very successful multi-million-dollar business with the idea that this success would make me happy, and that never happened because I realized that I was destroying my own health and well-being in the pursuit of this societal success. And it wasn't until I asked myself the question, is this creating the life I want, that I realized that I really needed to change course. But that's when I threw it all away. I destroyed the entire dream business of what I had created because I was unhappy with some of the parts of the business that I had also created. In hindsight, it was a pretty dumb decision, sort of akin to throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Now, if I had had the foresight to really answer that question, am I creating or destroying, then I probably could have found a better answer. I would have realized that I was merely destroying because I was angry, and that the end result would not have been creating anything. It was only just destruction. And that was the wrong path. And that's really why asking ourselves that question on all of our decisions is so important. And that's quite simply, are your actions, building something positive and creative for your life, or are they tearing yourself and others down? It's a question that applies to everything in life, including your relationships, your career choices, and even how we respond to societal chaos, like the current protests that seem more like destructive riots. And on a societal level, protesting is about creating change and raising awareness and attempting to get social justice. And it's peaceful, organized dissent, and it's protected by the First Amendment. Rioting, though, is destructive, it's harmful to people, it's harmful to communities, and it actually makes things worse in the short and long term. And that line can be blurred. Protesting can be a good thing. It can offer dialogue, it can offer another opinion, a different way to see things. But in today's climate, it seems more about bullying and shaming and vilifying the opposing side, and for the most part, inciting violence and destruction at the same time. But it doesn't have to be this way. And this societal level of destruction shows us just how important it is for us in our personal lives to really start asking that question about whether what we're doing is creating or destroying. And if the answer is creating, then it looks like you're on the right path. But this in no way means destroying things. And that may feel a little bit destructive. Letting go of the past or releasing is not really destruction. Think about it like ending a relationship. You might think it's destructive, but if you end it with care, then there's an opportunity for growth for both people, and also an opportunity to get out of the way of destruction, in fact. Oh, and also, companies have been contacting me to do ads in my videos, but I don't want to do that. And so instead, my ads are, hey, you can book a mentor session with me and we can talk and we can see how you can get a better life. Because I only want to do things that have integrity and that help people in the world. And so that's my ad. Book a mentor session and get a better life. Now back to the content. So how do you apply this in your daily life? Well, before you make any big decision, whether that's a career move or a change in a relationship, or even how you approach the societal chaos, you want to ask yourself, is this creating a positive life for me? Or is it harming others or even yourself? For example, staying in a job that you hate might be destroying your mental health, but quitting in a huff could also be destructive. But simply finding another job that's more aligned with what you want to do in life and that gives you energy and makes you feel good, that's more of a creative answer to give yourself a better life. And also, joining a protest could create awareness, but then deciding to bully, harass, or threaten, or incite violence on other people, or destroy property veers into destruction and harm to others, to the community, and possibly destroying your entire future. And so instead of protesting and putting yourself into this potential destructive path, you could join an organization that is making change that you want to see in the world. This is the creative solution to societal chaos. And I'm reminded on this by this Dutch kid, Boyan Slat, who started the Ocean Project when he was 18 years old. And the idea was to clean the trash out of the oceans. And the difference between him and someone like Greta Thunberg, who is a environmental activist complainer, is that he's removed something like 16 million kilograms of trash in the ocean. And their goal is to remove 90% of the trash that is in the oceans by the year 2040, I think. And then when I think of someone like Greta Thunberg, I think, what's she done? Besides complain and make people angry and insult people. And so which one of those do you think would be the creative path? And which one of those would you say is the destructive path? And even small acts matter in the sense that you can decide to spend time with loved ones, and that creates connection, as opposed to spending time on social media, which basically destroys your attention. These are simple little questions, but they really reveal two very different paths. And choosing creation as your answer every time will totally transform your life. Believe me, I have learned that. And quite simply, yeah, here's the deal. Life is about creation. That is why we are here, to create. It's about furthering life, positivity, growth, and change. And letting go and releasing go a long way towards creating that change. But destruction, for the most part, just ruins everything. So, next time you're faced with a choice, just quite simply ask, am I creating positivity? Am I creating a better life for myself in this decision? Or am I destroying with this decision? And if you make the choice that aligns with creating, then you're gonna find that your life is just gonna get better. So, what's one area in your life where you can start creating instead of destroying? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I read every comment and I appreciate your time in watching these videos. And so, until next time, have a good one.